Um, so I am introducing today Storyboard. Storyboard is my first collection of fabrics from what I hope will be a long-term, ongoing collaboration with FreeSprit Fabrics. Now, many of you might know FreeSprit Fabrics because you're already into fabrics, and some of you may not know that you know FreeSprit Fabrics. But they are an epic company that I am extremely fortunate to work with. I am so appreciative to be connected with them. They are the home of so many superstars. Seriously, if you go over to their site and go to their designer page and click over, it is an all-star cast of incredible, talented people. I venture to guess, knowing my crew out there, that many of you have FreeSprit fabric already. So amongst the many people at FreeSprit that I am feeling, again, so fortunate to be able to stand next to, not literally, of course, is Tim Holtz, of course, Tula Pink, and Kaif Fassett. So these are three mega amazing superstars. Those of you who are completely new to fabric, please look those three people up and look at the other designers too and follow them because they have such a great cast of designers there. It was really important for me and for FreeSprit to make sure that I was in my own lane and not in any way, shape, or form repeating any kind of similar designs to the other artists who are there. And I think we achieved that, which makes me extremely happy. Now, welcome everybody. If you're just joining again, I want to mention something right from the get-go, because I think this is key and important. So I want everybody to be sitting down for this, because I know often when I do these releases, you can just hop over to a shop, my shop or another shop, and you can buy them. These are not available today. Okay, you guys sitting? So the way it works is that these are now available for pre-sale purchase from retailers. That pre-sale goes on for 1 to 3 months. So for the month of January, February, and March, retailers around the world can order this collection. So you're not going to see it in January, February, or March. What happens then? The collection is produced based on the orders that are made. What does that mean? That means that these guys, the things I'm going to show you today, the things that you're going to feel like you want in your creative little hands right now are not going to be available to you. Or I should say, they will be available to you in August. So it's a long wait, guys, but I am so eager to see your response to this. And then I think they say good things come to those who wait, right? So we're going to all exercise a lot of patience, myself included, and wait until the release in August. I would appreciate, for 2 reasons, if you would contact your local quilting shop, your local mixed media shop, your local independent, and connect them with my collection. Just let them know to go to FreeSprit Fabrics and see if they like the collection. And if they do, I would love for them to carry it. I want you to do that for 2 reasons. One, because of course I want this collection to be in everybody's hands, but also because our independents are dropping like flies, and I want to do what I can to support the independents. All right, so I think I've really made you wait long enough. Storyboard represents my beliefs that more is more. The littlest details make the biggest impact. There is beauty in the imperfections, and you are always only one layer away from magic. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So just to answer a few questions, these are digitally printed. It's 100% cotton. It's FreeSprit is really a company that gears their releases toward quilt makers. So I know there's going to be a lot of quilts made with these, but you know me, I'm going to be making these into books and mixed media elements and collages. And there's so many other things that you can do with it. Make bags, make dolls on t-shirts. I mean, really, it's endless, and I can't wait to explore more with you. They will be sold in quilt shops all over, hopefully the world. They will be sold in some mixed media shops. They will also be sold in my shop. So, okay, in no particular order, the 12 designs in this collection. Here we go. We start with Journey. I'm just going to let you take it in a little bit before I move to the next one. All the work is based on a combination of original artwork that I have made either relatively recently or in the past, or work that I made specifically for the release of this fabric collection. This is me. This doesn't get more than me. It's the colors, sort of the muted tones, all the mark making, the layers, the little bit of detail, the fact that I try to get as much as possible in the smallest space that is known to man. The text that's both design and meaningful. And, you know, everybody has a story, and this is where our journey begins. I will tell you that for those of you who know fabric, in terms of the repeat size, it varies dramatically. And this, the cool thing about this is that this actually has an 18-inch by 15-inch repeat, which means that you're not even seeing all of the section of this fabric that is unique and not repeated. I hope you like this. This gives you an indication of the release, but there's so much more, and some of them are quite different. So let's move on from Journey, and let's move on to Bandwidth. Bandwidth, also based on some of my original work. Those of you, again, who know me well, you're going to see some familiar details in here. You might see some of my stamps, some of my stencils, some very familiar mark making elements of mine. This is, again, Bandwidth, and it is the second out of 12 items in the collection. You're going to see over time how the collection can work really well together, just depending upon what you decide you want to create. More is more, so let me give you more. Let me give you Storyteller. This is Storyteller. It's a little darker than the others. But again, it has got my elements. Abstract, textural, grungy, distress, colorfully muted, deeply layered, filled with text. It's all I can do. It's all I can make. And I really wanted this collection, again, being representative of my story, to reflect really my artwork. The textures in this one are really, really cool. I mean, this one, honestly, it almost feels like if you rub your hand over it, it'll be scratchy. And 100%, this is for me, because I'm not a quilt maker yet, this is so going to be just part of my collage work and my book work, my book pages, and I have so many ideas. Now for something completely different. This is text message. Yes, we have got some black and whites, but what's really cool about these is these black and whites are not really just black and whites. If you look closely, you're going to see some sepia, you're going to see some gray, you're going to see some shading and differential. I love the idea of a black and white. I know that this will be used in a certain way in a quilt, but for me, I am all over this to use my dye sprays, to do some tea dyeing, to use my ice, to coat these in vintage beeswax and other translucent embossing powders. I am just so excited about that. Yes, so the way I just created these swatches to share with you is that they are just stapled. The back is stapled to a stretched canvas. So they can go right on the wall as is. This could be the background. You could do this and make this the background for a mixed media piece and just work over it. All right, so this is text message. This is the first of 2 black and whites, but we're going to go right back to some color. And we're going to go to number 5 in the collection of 12. It wouldn't be a Seth release without something or something somewhat vintage. So I bring you Received, which brings us a very vintage color palette. This is based, among other things, on a collage that used a really good deal of collage papers that were, I would almost say, antique rather than vintage. Love this one. It's got my pops of red that I love so much. It's got some text. Maybe you can read it, maybe you can't. But I think you probably can. And it's got just all that little grungy little detail and flashes of splashes and little squares and stamps and layers. You know, it's got that stuff, all that stuff that I like. The repeats very dramatically in size. This one, for example, the repeat is 11 by 12 inches. So this being a 12 by 12, you pretty much got the whole repeat on this. All right, we are on to our number 6. All right, again, I'm going to say this a few times now for something completely different. I introduce you to Matrix. You know, it's really important when you create fabric for quilting. You know, you can't just have everything this heavy duty collage. You need to have some elements that are a little different. The black and whites, some things where the eye can rest a bit. That's how you can create a better quilt. But I really want you to look closely at this, because when you look closely, you see the detailing that's there. You know, they're not just circles. But I am going to move you to number 7, which is type. I want to say this is one of my favorites, but honestly, guys, they're all kind of one of my favorites. I just love this one. Really do. It's got so much detail in it. And I will definitely have a listing on my site. As soon as I know who's ordering it and where it's available, I'm going to have on my website a list of direct links to all the different shops all over the world. And again, this one is called Type. And if you didn't know why, if you look very closely, it's really hard to see. That is a typewriter, the keys on a typewriter keypad. That's where that comes from. There's a method to that idea. All right, that was number 7. I love that. I still have 5 more to show you. Back to black and white. This one is called Printed Matter. Also a favorite. Again, this will be so nice dyed, indigo dyed. I can't wait to get my hands on this. Well, I have it. I have till I have time so I can indigo dye this. But tea stain, be amazing. The dye sprays, the ice. Your favorite, Karen? Excellent. This has grown on me so much. You know, when I first saw it, I just am so pulled to the colors of this collection. And so the black and whites didn't have the same appeal. But really, when I saw the collection together and saw how you can work with this, I deeply fell in love with it. Again, I just want to highlight that this is black and white. I call it black and white, but really, it's actually got some sepia tones, some grayscale tones. It's really, really quite beautiful. And I think it will take, I mean, cotton will take to dye very well, but I think this one particularly will look great in a lot of different colorways. You know, in a manner of speaking, I kind of got my wish. And drum roll, please, we segue to my next one, which is number 9. And this is called Wish. I love this one. Again, based on some stencils from far away. It has a completely different look than it does from close up. But let me just take you through this one. This one has a lot of detail in it and a lot of words. So amongst the words, it says yes, heal, wish, art, and ultimately I went with wish as being the title. Yeah, on that angle, that's kind of when you get to see it the best. And I think that as is, you know, you could just do this and you could have art for your wall. You could do this and have a background to work on. Because it's canvas, you can sew and stitch right through it, especially by hand. Yeah, so I'm just thinking of a million different ways to use all of these. All right, we are on to number 9. So don't tell the ones that I've already shown, but these next 3 are really close to my heart. And the first one is so not what you might expect based on some of the other ones, but I love it, love it, love it. It's called Linked. And yeah, I just am so in love with this one. I can just see this used in so many ways. I love kind of how dirty it is. And I know those of you who know me or know mixed media know what I mean by that. You know, it's got this sort of muted bright tone. Love it sideways too. But I love sort of the splotchy blotches, technical term, that are over this. I love the fact that it's got my contrast, it's got the linearity, really strong linearity, but at the same time, it has all that organic overlay. It almost feels a little bit like a wood to me. Like this is almost an abstract wood knot. Like I can see this as a floor. I personally, I think this would look really, really cool as wallpaper. I think it would be amazing just to literally cut out these diamond shape elements and use those as part of collage, to cut out this strip and use that as a border. Stamp sentiments on it. This could be perfect for journaling, you know, the line work, or like scenic writing and mark making, journaling with fabric paint in the strips. So much, yeah, so many ideas. You guys have a million of them. I have a million of them. And you have until August to think about what you want to do and get your supplies. This one is called Linked, Linked, Linked. All right, we got 2 more for you. This one is called Possible. And it just speaks to me. I think honestly, this one and the next one are my favorites in the collection. The amazing thing about this one, this is a huge repeat. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know this, you know, fabric industry as well as probably some of you, but this repeat is 18.4 inches by 18 inches. So this is just 12 by 12. So you're missing even more of this pattern that still exists. All this around the edge on the back side, that's not on the front side. There's so much more. This one I am going to be using over and over and over. And just let me kind of bring it in closer so that as you get closer, you see that within every one of these little square elements, there's all the little details, all the mark makes, all the handmade marks, all the little tiny little text marks, stamp marks, splatter, splatter, splatter. And yes, stitch along the lines. I'm totally going to hand stitch around all these different elements. Machine stitch if I can ever get my act together. But this is like an amazing slow stitch. Watch Netflix, binge Netflix for a weekend and just keep stitching around. I think it would be really, really cool. So again, one of my favorites called Possible. And I still have one more. The last one, and this one is called Shine. It features the words, it's from one of my stamps, Shine Your Light. And I thought that was a perfect way to end the collection. The first one was called Journey. This is Shine Your Light. It's something that I want you all to do. We all need to do it. We need to tell our story. We need to shine our light. And I think that says it all. So again, let's see what you think. This one is called Shine, but the message on it is Shine Your Light. This one also has quite a big repeat. You're almost seeing all of it. It's 13.3 inches by 12 inches. This is, again, based on my art. It's a digital overlay. So this is not just one piece of art that has been photographed and printed. This is multiple pieces of art and mark making, backgrounds, all of which have been put together. I thank you so much. This is among my many dreams within the world of mixed media and in the world of product design. This is one of them, and this has now come true. Hard for me to wait till August. I am in camp with you. I don't know, I'm a very patient person, a very impatient artist. I want these in your hands as soon as possible. It will be August. Please, thank you in advance if you contact your local independent quilt shop, maybe even mixed media shop. Not all mixed media shops carry fabric, but if yours will or does, let them know. I have this new line. Send them to FreeSprit to look. You can look also at FreeSprit to see the collection, my collection online. If you need to visit it, it will be posted also on my website. If any of you are connecting with a local shop, please let them know that I am more than happy to connect with them, to support them supporting me, whatever that may look like. So please let them know that if they have any questions, if they want me to do a Facebook Live for their shop, all they need to do is email me or message me and I will connect with them. But seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your support. I am very happy to start a new year, 2023, with this new collection. Again, it's from FreeSprit Fabrics. Please check them out. Check out all the amazing heavy hitter all-star designers who are also on our site. And I thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Shine your light, tell your story. Everybody be safe, be well. Bye.